to arrest. This has not had enough attention in my view, but it's what happened. We will fix that, but we can't fix it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the pleb is back in this report. Well, the farmer protests are officially back in Europe, with the French farmers going absolutely crazy again, spraying manure on government buildings, dumping garbage everywhere, and dumping out foreign products. Also tonight, the farmers in the UK are protesting as well, with kids joining in on the protests with their little tractors. You won't want to miss this report. Stick around. Before we start this report, please smash subscribe if you're not subscribed already. I'm going to cover all the protests in Europe with the farmers, so if you stand with the farmers, smash subscribe and let's start the report. Well, folks, nothing makes me happier than covering farmer protests. I mean, we've done this countless times on this channel before, and you guys are always asking me in the comments, Pleb, when are you going to cover the farmer protests again? Well, as soon as they start happening, which is now. Tonight's story will start with the French farmers, who are absolutely pissed off at Macron for wanting to sign a free trade deal which would allow for more foreign products to be flooded into their country. I would highly suggest that you go make yourself some popcorn, crack a cold one, get your favorite beverage, because we are in for a wild show. Tonight's first story will start out in the city of Albi, France, where last night the protesters gathered and started burning things on fire the night before the start of the protests. Believe the mannequin there is a sign for the farmers in distress. Wow. Tires, hay, everything is getting burned here, folks. I wonder if they're cooking marshmallows there ahead of their protests. And the following morning, the farmers in Albi were very, very upset because they discovered foreign lamb being imported into their country. I guess this is where the frozen lambs were, in this reefer truck. And once these farmers found out about these imported lambs, well, they were not happy and they started spraying manure on government buildings. The spray manure is back. With a little side of garbage. Why not? Nice. The farmers ain't playing about these foreign products. So those were the scenes in Albi, France. Now let's move things over to another part of the country. Now let's move things over to Rodez, France, where the farmers have gathered in the middle of the city, ready and loaded with plenty of garbage to dump. You guys see the tires there? Look at all these tires. They're ready to go. They've got about what, 10, 12, 15, look at all those tires. They're not playing around. And those tires you saw were put to good use as the farmers started dumping them in front of government buildings. This video is awesome. Look at this. Dumpy dumpy. Oh my gosh, they're dumping it on the other side of the fence. What? Oh man. And there's even a nice little mess there behind, eh? And the aftermath from that last video is absolutely insane. Look at this. Look at the amount of garbage. Oh, wow. Man, you don't piss off the farmers. These are the one group you don't want to piss off, especially the French farmers. Look at that. Look at the aftermath here. Wow. Oh my gosh. Okay, so they actually dumped tires on the other side of the fence here. Not just in the street, on the other side of the gate. That is hilarious. Wow. So that's what's going on in the city of Rodez. Now let's move it to another part of the country. Now let's move things over to another part of France called Boulogne, which is close to the Spanish border, and the French farmers are intercepting trucks with Spanish wine and dumping them on the road. They did this last time. Wow. It's a lot of wine. And after dumping this Spanish wine, the farmers in this region are apparently taking things one step further and blocking the border with Spain, or possibly a toll road between the countries. Look at this. Anyone from Europe or this region can tell me if this is the border between the countries or just some kind of toll road? I know it's close to the Spanish border. And right near the border, the protesters are now taping up radar machines. No tickets for the government. So that's the latest on Bouillon. Let's keep this moving to another part of the country. We are now in a part of France called Beauvais, where many farmers have gathered there too to protest the government. Decent number of tractors here. I love my job, but I would like to survive. I mean, that's pretty powerful. And over in Beauvais here, the protesters started gathering around this biodiversity government building here, and what happens next is pretty wild. Okay, so now we're in front of this biodiversity building in Beauvais, and the farmer protesters are now bricking it in. Wow. They did that at the last protest too. Office Française of Biodiversity. Well, whoever's going to work tomorrow at this building is probably going to have a hard time getting in. And after building their brick wall at this biodiversity building, well, the farmers started doing what they do best. Dump garbage. Can you guys see that right there? You see that brick wall? We're just watching them build this brick wall. It's right behind them. And here comes the tires. Oh, man. Push them a little closer. So this is the scenes here in front of that biodiversity building. As you can see here is the brick wall they built, but for good measure, they were going to stack up more garbage in front of that brick wall. Oh, man. The farmers are back. They're back. Incredible. So that's the latest from Beauvais, France, but let's keep moving to another part of the country. We'll now move things over to a more southern part of France called Agen, which is a large farmer community where the farmers have gathered to protest there too. Here are some scenes from downtown Agen where The farmers appear to have the whole downtown core completely blocked with tractors and trailers full of garbage. And over in Agen, the police are keeping a close eye here as they are patrolling with a helicopter. They got everything blocked off here. And over in Agen, the farmer protesters started burning things. Yes, they started burning tires and garbage. There's lots of emissions. Here's another angle for good measure. Well, they didn't burn everything. And after starting that big fire in Agen, well, the protesters weren't done just yet because they decided to do what they do best: spray government buildings with manure. I like to call this farmer paint. And there's, oh my gosh. It's completely brown. Oh boy. Oh boy. Here's another angle of the spraying, and it's absolutely epic here. Look at this, guys. Wow. Look at that PSI, that pressure. But you guys notice here that the windows have like storm covers on them. Do all government buildings in France have like covers above their windows because of how many times the farmers spray them with manure? Oh man, that main door, the main door here, look at, oh my gosh, it's so crazy. And after absolutely spraying that building, the farmers were not done just yet, as they had to dump garbage, tires, and I believe chestnuts or some kind of nuts all over the place. Check this out. Who can tell me what kind of nuts those are? Are those like hazelnuts? Or D's nuts? Here we go. Dumperoo. Construction guys will get this one. Here we go. Oh, there we go. Oh, boy. Here's some pictures from the aftermath of that. I mean, wow. This building, they sprayed it all the way to the roof. Damn. And of course, all the garbage dumped in front too. It's like the cherry on the sundae. Now we'll move things over to Lot-et-Garonne, which is in Agen as well, and they were dumping garbage in front of government buildings there as well. But before they started dumping on this government building, the farmers had to make sure the cops got out of the way. Here he goes. This cop's like, I'm holding the line. Wow. Wow, he shoves it. All right, well, the cops have been neutralized. Now let's let the fun begin here. Here we go. Oh. The cops are just standing there doing nothing. And here's some scenes from the aftermath of that. This is what it looked like. Just tires and garbage and mulch everywhere. Now let's move things over to another part of France called Avignon, where they were dumping garbage here as well. Don't mess with the farmers. Now let's move things over to the final part of France that we'll cover on today's video, which is Bordeaux. And over in Bordeaux, the farmers started arriving in pretty good numbers here. Look. And over in Bordeaux, the farmers were dumping garbage there as well. Another pile. And over in Bordeaux, the French farmers started dumping garbage in front of the Minister of Agriculture, I believe. Watch. Oh boy. And the farmers in Bordeaux also had a nice gift for their mayor. You guys see that? Hotel de Ville means mayor's office, mayor's building, city hall. Yeah, right there. You see the Hotel de Ville? Yeah, city hall. Is a shipment from the farmers. Wow. Is there more? Well, it looks like they got both doors. And over in Bordeaux, they were starting to light their garbage on fire there too. Now, is that gasoline? Wonder if those farmers were cooking marshmallows. So that is the latest out of France. I hope you guys are enjoying this coverage so far, because we're not done just yet. Because over in the UK, the farmers are protesting there as well. And the reason the farmers are upset in the UK is because of this new family farm tax, where they want to tax a farmer who gives his farm to the next generation. Yes, a typical 200-acre farm owned by a farmer has an average expected annual profit of only £27,000. Its inheritance tax liability would be about £435,000. Wow, that's crazy. Paying it over 10 years would mean the farm would have to pay 159% of its profits per year to pay the tax. The UK is out of control. And I was able to find this here, which is a video explaining this inheritance tax and why it upsets the UK farmers so much.
Just want fair play for the farmers. Everything we're doing it is for our kids. It's their future. And everything is just going against us. This inheritance tax it's ridiculous. It's a final straw.
I'm just so emotional. Why do we as farmers have to do this? We shouldn't,
This government needs to realise it's never been hungry since World War II. They're going to be hungry.
Wow.
Because if they keep putting tax on the farmers, it's going to have a massive impact.
From 2026, farmers will be liable for inheritance tax at 20% on farms worth more than £1 million. They claim it will force many to sell up to pay the bill. The government claims that only a small number of farms would be affected. Their figures are wrong, according to protesters here. Farmers say this is just the start. Next week, they are planning to hold their first ever strike action, and tens of thousands of them are going to be protesting in London on Tuesday.
Yep, they are protesting in London, and are they going to actually go on a farming strike? All right, let's see who has the power here, the government or the farmers. I think I know who's going to win.
Farmers will be withholding meat and crops from supermarkets in the days ahead and say that if they're not listened to, there will be more action to come.
Good for them. And the British farmers were not bluffing because they totally went through with this protest. Over in the UK, the British police are trying to block the farmers from bringing their tractors into the city, but guess what? The farmers won this exchange.
And the tractors go.
Yeah, they're they're giving up.
Well done, guys. Keep going.
Power to the people. And after breaking through the police lines, the farmers and their tractors made their way to Trafalgar Square.
There's more tractors again around
The final straw. Yeah.
Parliament.
Saint Farmer? What does that say? Oh, Saint Starmer. It's Starmer. Keith Starmer sucks. You can see that written by Starmer sucks. Love it. And they're being greeted like heroes by the people, as they should. And power to the people indeed, as the farmers even got their tractors right outside of Parliament.
Some tractors have arrived outside Parliament. As you can see, there's another one there. And It's early, you know. This protest doesn't even start till 11 o'clock. I've seen a lot of police presence about in the area.
Nice. And in an absolutely cute turn of events here in the UK, the kids have decided to join the protesters and brought their little tractors with them. Aww. That's so adorable, man. The convoy is here. Oh, look at these kids. They even have British flags. I love it. The public loves the farmer. And Nigel Farage was there at the UK protest and did an interview with a young farmer, a future farmer, and asked him, why are you at this protest?
Now, young farmers, William, you're 12 years old, and this says, supporting British farming. So how much does this matter to you?
A lot. I think without today, Starman don't know how important this is to us.
Yeah, it really is farmer v Starmer, isn't it, today? So you come from a farming family, yeah?
Yes.
And what do your parents do?
My dad's a farmer and my mum works in a pub.
But what
In
do
a
they
pub?
farm?
My dad farms cows.
In a pub? Me mom works in a pub. Cute.
Cows, sheep, just normal animals.
And you help out on the farm?
Yes.
And do you want to be a farmer when you're older?
Yeah.
William, you're going to be a farmer. We're going to win this campaign. Well, wasn't that great? You see, when you get someone that age, you get the purest, most honest answers you're ever going to get. That was terrific. It really, really was.
Beautiful. And this protest here in the UK appears to have drawn a really, really big crowd. Look at this. What a crowd. And the protest.
Give us a cheer! Give us a cheer!
They look pretty united. And if you guys didn't believe me that this crowd was huge, I mean, look at this shot from above. Look how many people are there. It's truly remarkable. Beautiful. And shortly after that, the people started marching with the farmers, telling them to stop killing the people who feed you. Powerful messaging here. That's what we call solidarity. And the legend himself, in our last long clip of the night here, Jeremy Clarkson from Top Gear was there supporting the farmers, and the media tried to play gotcha with Jeremy Clarkson, and basically he handed their behinds to them. Watch.
Okay, let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
I wanted to shoot, okay?
They hate the BBC the way we hate the CBC. It's all the same crap, these government-funded media propaganda machines. Same in the UK, same in Canada.
That's even worse to the BBC. I wanted to shoot, which comes with the benefit of not having to pay inheritance tax. Now I do. But people like me will simply put it in a trust. And so long as I live for 7 years, that's fine. And as my daughter said, you will live for 7 years. You might be in a deep freeze at the end of it, but you will live for 7 years. But it's incredibly time-consuming to have to do that. And why should all these people have to do that? Why should they?
So one of the reasons Rachel Reeves says she brought this in is to stop wealthy people using it as a way.
No, that was the only reason she did.
Well, no, the other reason was to raise money for public services. Well, have you seen?
Are you listening to this?
Go.
Have you tried to get a GP appointment lately?
Yes,
Right.
I just recently had a heart attack.
Okay, so you know it's tough.
Yes.
So where should they get the money from if it's not from farmers?
From farmers.
So they literally want to steal inheritances from farmers to fund their healthcare system? Do they already not pay enough taxes as is? They're going to steal it from the people who feed the country? Man, these politicians are insane.
From farmers.
From farmers.
With
you hear that, everyone?
With
BBC
assets.
thinks you should be paying for everything.
Mrs. Clarkson,
Okay,
you
do
know
you
it's
know
not the
how many
BBC
people
scheme.
pay inheritance tax in this country?
It's 4% of estates.
What?
4% of estates.
4% pay inheritance tax. 96% of the population of the UK does not pay inheritance tax.
Sure.
After this becomes law, 96% of farmers will.
Where have you got that figure from?
Who here, can I just ask, who here is going to be unaffected by these changes? No one.
Right. Where have you got the 96% figure
Well,
from?
you've got 96%. Well, the same place that Rachel Reeves does, from the middle of her head.
Right.
From the Sixth Form Debating Society that she was no doubt a member of.
Okay.
Which
So-
formed her opinions and yours.
I am not expressing opinions. I'm
Yes.
literally asking you questions. You know that, Mr. Clarkson.
Right.
So, what is your message to this government?
Please back down. Please.
And get the money from where?
Well, they've got 40 billion. I'll tell you where you get the. Walk into any of the offices around here. If you don't understand what somebody's job is, fire them.
And how
The civil
far-
service.
Right? He's just saying the UK needs a Doge as well. There's probably so much wasted money in the government, and they just want to go steal this money from the farmer. It's sickening.
Fire them.
And how
The civil
far-
service. Civil service is too top. You know that. I must get on.
They're right. I mean, their government is for sure probably too big, like all governments. So that's the latest out of the UK. The British farmers are protesting right now, but they said straight up, they're ready to go on a strike and stop supplying food to the country, which no doubt will blow up in the government's face. All right, guys, that's going to be a wrap for today's report, but I want you to tell me in the comments down below, what country are you watching from, and do you support the farmers? I want to see flags from all over the world telling the farmers that we love them and we support them. And if you guys enjoyed today's coverage and you're not subscribed, make sure to subscribe to my channel because I'm going to keep continuing to cover the farmer protests as they develop here in the next couple of weeks. So if you don't want to miss any updates, smash subscribe and leave a comment, hit the like button. My name is the Pleb. Keir Starmer, we're coming for you.